Good day, children. This is Mrs. Vanessa Honey Thomas, your social studies teacher of class 8. I'm here with your second lesson, the British East India Company, part 1. But first, we will study about why Europeans arrived to India and what are the reasons of their arrival. So let's start. By the mid-15th century, Arab traders had established a flourishing trade in textile, silk and mainly spices with India. Arabs are tribal people. European countries too wanted to access to the booming trade with India for economic and political reasons. It had become a necessity for Europeans to find a sea route to India. The European rulers, especially the Portuguese, started exploring new sea routes to India so that they could bypass the land routes controlled by the Arabs and the Turks. They are tribal people. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor, was the first European to reach India by sea. In fact, he had discovered sea route to India in 1498. He reached Calicut in 1498. After going around the tip of Africa, the Portuguese captured Goa by 1510. The flourishing economy of the Portuguese due to trade with India attracted the Dutch, the British and the French merchants. All these countries naturally made India their trade destination. That is why the British East India Company came to India for economic development. In 1613, an English ambassador called Sir Thomas Roe led a successful mission to the Mughal Emperor Jahangir to obtain trade concessions for the country's factory in Surat. This means that from British East India Company, Sir Thomas Roe was the first person who wanted to do trading with India. So he visited India as an ambassador of England. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir gave permission to the Britishers to set up the factories in India. He had no idea on that time that the Britishers would become the rulers. East India Companies. So now we know that in 1498 it was the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama that came first in India for trading and ruled at Goa. Then in the 16th century, Sir Thomas Roe of British East India Company or East India Company, as may be called that, came to India for trading and then ruled in India. In 1602, Dutch government came. 21 years monopoly rights mean controlled on possession for trading in India, also ruled in India for some times. In 1664, it was the French East India Company that was formed. They also came in India and established themselves at Pondicherry. So now we know there was so many East Indian companies that came to India for trading, but the problem was that all the companies were interested in buying the same thing, cotton, silk and spices, because in Europe there was a huge demand and market for silk and spices. Now we will discuss the British East India Company. So let's start. The first point, East India Company came east in the 1600. The East India Company acquired a charter. Charter means grant permission from the ruler of England. Second point, Queen Elizabeth I granted it the sole right to trade with the East. This meant that no other trading group in England could compete with the East India Company. Third point, with this charter, the company could venture. Venture means a risky or daring journey across the ocean, looking for new lands from which it could buy goods at a cheaper price. The last point is that they carry them back to Europe to sell at higher price. The first point is that the company did not have to fear competition from other English trading companies. The next point is mercantile means a business company who makes profits. So mercantile trading companies in those days made profit primarily. In this second paragraph means that British East India Company made profit more than 80% through trade, because they were buying goods in cheap and selling them at higher price. The third point is the Royal Charter, however, could not stop other European powers from entering the Eastern market. Now I will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of British rules. So let's start. Advantages of British rule. The first point, the British laid the first railway line in India between Thane and Bombay on 16th April 1853. The next point is the British introduced the post and telegraph system in India. The third point, they improved agriculture outputs through the introduction of methods such as irrigations, canal. Fourth point, they also built cities with modern facilities like drainage, etc. And the last point is they made educations for both males and females. Disadvantages of British rule. The first point is an Indian king of a British protected territory died without a natural successor. His kingdom would automatically be taken over by the Britishers. The second point, the British Indian farmers to sell them food grains at much cheaper rates, which they subsequently sold at higher rates back in England. Third point, Indians were also forced to sell cash crops like raw cotton and raw silk as well as indigo, a natural dye, at cheaper rates to provide raw materials for their mills in Europe. The last point is social discrimination widened caste differences among the Indians. I hope you understood till here. Your home task is you have to answer the following questions. Question 1. Who were the first European to enter India and how did they arrive? Question 2. Why were the European countries keen to find a sea route to India? Question number 3. Who was Sir Thomas Rao and why did he come to India? Question 4. Why did the British East India Company do trading in India? And the last question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of British rule? Students, do your homework in the school copy with all the previous work given in the previous session. In end, I wish you good health. God bless you. Thank you.